All right, here we go. Let's do this thing right here on Recher Reacts. What's going on, everybody? Let's make sure everything is audio devices. We are all ready to roll. All right. All right, let's do this. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Retro Reacts. Jay Retro here with you. Happy Sunday night. Yeah, getting this in before midnight. Did not want to wait until after the Sunday night football game. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, and today was crazy, just like the rest of them. I mean, my goodness. Uh, we'll, we'll get into all the sports stuff here momentarily, but I actually was sideswiped today on the way to the Buccaneer game. I wasn't going to make a big deal out of it, of course. Um, but yeah, driving to Raymond James Stadium today, got about 10 minutes away from the stadium, and then somebody pulls right into my lane and smacks into the side of my car. That wasn't a really great way to start off the day. And then right before I come on air with you guys, I find out that my niece Harper, she's about to be 2, got her finger slammed in a door at Outback, and not like the way the door closes at the hinge, and it like down to the bone. Poor thing. She's got to go to a plastic surgeon. She was crying, like she cried so much that she fell asleep. My sister said, my mom went over there, she's staying the night. Just, can you imagine that? Like, my goodness, this little girl fractured her finger and she's not even 2 years old. She's there with like her little it's her little I don't even know what you call it, or it's not a cast, but it's just, oh my god, I feel for her so much. But Uncle Jay loves you, Harper, and I know you will be getting better soon. I always want to hear from you guys as well. Questions, comments, concerns, leave them there at the bottom of the screen. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Good chat last night about the Tampa Bay Lightning and what they need to do to change their power play. And speaking of that, Steven Stamkos returns to Amalie Arena tomorrow night as a member of the Nashville Predators. That is going to be a wild. Hopefully, you'll be in the building for that one. We will be at Amalie all day tomorrow for that game. But man, just what an emotional couple weeks it's been, right? I mean, with the Hurricanes and with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans going down, and you're going to get it from Steven Stamkos. I just told you about the two things that happened to me, and then the passing of Coach Amir Abdur-Rahim. It's still heavy in my heart, I know for sure. And there was a nice little celebration of life today on social media. And I know next Saturday they're going to do something at the Yingling Center. Hope to see everybody out there. But shout out to USF Athletics, USF as a whole. They used some of the audio from our show on Friday for their tribute video for Amir Abdur-Rahim. And that means the world to me and everybody involved at WDAE. Some of the things that I said, and then some of the things that Joey Johnston, one of the voices of USF, said when he joined Zach and I on the program to remember the late great Coach Amir Abdur-Rahim. Um, yeah, it's going to be tough. This one's going to sting for a while. The moment of silence before the Lightning game on Saturday night, I thought was all class. I did not think that the Buccaneers did the right thing today, not having a moment of silence for Coach Amir Abdur-Rahim. I thought it would take 30 seconds out of your day. I thought it would have been nice to just mention it. I know it's Crimskull Day and everybody was happy, but I thought it was a missed opportunity for the Bucks to just show some love to a member of Team Tampa Bay. Um, didn't really like that. Didn't really like a lot of what I saw at Raymond James Stadium today, and we'll get to that here momentarily. Also, going to talk about what quite possibly could be the worst statue of all time. I know a lot of you have seen it, Dwayne Wade from the Miami Heat, but if you haven't, I'll show it for you here. I'll show it to you here in a second, and also compare it to one of the other worst statues of all time. And I want to get your opinion whether you think Dwayne Wade's is worst or this athlete. But neither of them are very good. And then finally, just a lack of focus and maturity on the gridiron. It doesn't matter if it's college football, it doesn't matter if it's pro football. We just constantly see poor decision making and just a lack of focus and maturity. And it's crazy to me for a sport so popular, and for how much intelligence and how much toughness that it takes, that we continuously see these lapses in judgment, and more of them today. More of them today on the football field. We saw it at Raymond James Stadium. We also saw it in the game between the Commanders and the Bears. So we'll get to that here in a bit. Again, follow me Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. I am everywhere at Recher. Make sure you like and subscribe me on YouTube. I got all my videos up there, whether it's a video from here, the live. I like to cut up the videos and take some of the best parts, as well as some of the shorts and some of the shorts from Jay and Zach and all of my travels, Recher's Rapid Reaction, Bucks, Lightning, Rays, Rowdies, USF. If there's some sports going on in the Tampa Bay area, you bet your sweet ass that I will be there. All right. I got a question for Bucks Nation. Do you still believe in Baker Mayfield? Do you still believe in Todd Bowles? Do you still believe in this entire Tampa Bay Buccaneers team? Because after today's troubling loss to the Atlanta Falcons, you're seeing more and more people jump off the bandwagon. And it could be for any one of those three things I just mentioned. But I think they go in this order. I think the belief in Todd Bowles is the lowest of the three. You're seeing a lot of people today on social media, and I know social media is very reactionary, and it is the vocal minority. And you don't have to litter me with stats and what he's done the last couple of years. I get it. I understand. I am just providing you with the feedback that I see on social media. And out of those three things, Baker, Bowles, and the Bucks, the fans out there have the least amount of faith in Todd Bowles. They're looking at this team struggling to contain opposing offenses and then directly looking at their head coach going, "You're supposed to be a defensive guy and you can't stop a nosebleed. You can't stop Kirk Cousins in the air. You can't stop Bijan Robinson on the ground. What are we doing here?" Eventually, that's how coaches lose their job. And I'm not calling for Todd's job, but the defense the last 4 weeks has been putrid. Over 130 points in 4 weeks. Like, wow. You only gave up 70. I think it was 70 plus in the first 4 weeks. It has gotten progressively worse. And I understand how tough the schedule is, but my goodness, if you're going to lose, you can't lose the way you did today and the way you've done the last couple of weeks. Baker Mayfield. People are looking at Baker and seeing the stat line today, throwing over 300 yards and going, okay, he fought to the bitter end. But I know there is a contingent of the fan base looking at Baker going, a lot of interceptions, Baker. Too many throws into double coverage. Trying to force the ball into areas where it's not really a smart decision at all. You need your quarterbacks to make good decisions and to be accurate when they throw the football. And that's not what we've seen from Baker Mayfield over the last couple of weeks. Flea flicker today, he throws the ball to Ryan Miller, covered by Jesse Bates. You got a guy that hasn't even been on the 53-man roster all year long, and he's going up against an all-pro safety, and you think that's a good decision? It's not. And that's why there are people that have the reservations. Like, is Baker Mayfield the guy that can truly lead the Buccaneers to their third Super Bowl championship? Now, I love the heart. You can't question the grit and the tenacity. He's a freaking leader. He's an awesome guy. But we're talking about just on the field, getting the job done. You can't turn the football over. And when you're without Godwin and you're without Evans, the margins are so fine. It comes down to the little things. And I thought it was paramount that Baker took care of the football against the Falcons. And he didn't do that. Two costly turnovers. Those interceptions were just absolute killers. You can't win like that. You can't win like that. And then lastly, the Buccaneers team as a whole. Some people saying the season is done, whether it's because of how many games they've lost recently or the injuries to Evans and Godwin. But fans are looking at this year and wondering if this isn't like Groundhog's Day. Isn't this the same story that we saw in 2023 when they jumped out to that 3-1 record and then they just really struggled in the middle of the season, and people were wondering if Todd Bowles was even going to be here at the end of 2023. They were able to right the ship, and they were able to win the division and advance to the playoffs, win a playoff game. The rest is history. The backstory of the 2023 season. But people are wondering, like, why does it have to be like this again? There's enough good players on that defense, and there's enough players on offense. I mean, listen, you scored 26 points today. That should be enough to win the game. I thought Liam Cohen did a really good job. I thought Kate Otten did a tremendous job. I thought the running backs outside of the fumble by Rashad White gave it everything that they had, but there's still pieces missing when it comes to this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team. So I ask you, Bucs Nation, do you still believe in Baker to be the guy to lead this team to the promised land? Do you still believe in Todd Bowles as the man that should be the head coach of this football team? And do you still believe in this team as a whole that they can turn this around like they did last year and make it back to the postseason once again? Let's go to guy I hate cancer here. Baker plays backyard ball. Defense needs to tackle. Someone has to step up when Evans and Godwin are out. You have to score 30 points, 30 plus. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you there. The way that the defense has been playing, it shouldn't be like that. But if you deal with coulda, woulda, shoulda, it's like you're going to be here all day arguing with yourself. But you're right. Thaw 345, I believe in Bowles. You are one. Not a ton of people do, though. And he seems to be the guy that's on the chopping block before everybody else. Something goes wrong with the team, boom, Todd Bowles is up there. Get rid of Todd Bowles. Elevate Liam Cohen, bring in Robert Saleh. That's what I saw from a couple of people today. Now, you may not like Todd's demeanor. I think that's a terrible reason to want to fire somebody on the sidelines. I don't care how you are on the sidelines. I don't care if you're stoic. I don't care if you're running around like a maniac. Whatever. Get your team to perform. Whatever you think is the right way to motivate these guys to go out there and to win, to put these guys in a position to succeed. How everybody's different. Everybody has their different approach when it comes to coaching. Todd is a very laid back guy. He's seen it all. He's been in this league for a long time. He empowers his coaches. He empowers his players. He's stubborn almost to a fault. I get that. I know what Todd's all about. The problem is, I think it just goes back to the black and white of this whole situation. You're not making it difficult for the opposition to score on you. It doesn't have to be super intricate when you're looking for the reasons. Well, the pass rush and the linebackers, and they're not covering guys, they're not breaking up passes. Yeah, okay, you can have that argument. But at the end of the day, it's a zero-sum business. Did you win? Did you lose? Who scored more points at the end of the day? It's the only numbers that count. And right now, Todd Bowles' defense is not doing the job. And if they don't improve, this team won't improve. They're 4-4 now, and they're staring down the barrel of a 4-5 record as they travel to Arrowhead to take on the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday night. That's probably the worst thing that the Buccaneers could have on their schedule after what they've gone through over the last couple of weeks. But we'll see. They'll be backed into a corner, and let's see how they respond. All right, follow me, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, at Recher. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Hit that notifications bell so you can get alerted every single time we go live. All right, let's have a little fun here. Did you see these statues? Dwayne Wade's statue outside of the arena down there in Miami. If you haven't seen it, brace yourself. This is one of the ugliest statues that you are ever going to see. You ready? Look at that thing. You've got to be serious. You can't be serious with that. Why are these sculptors so bad? You look at these busts that you see for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, you're like, wow, they do a really good job. And then you see these random statues that athletes get, and you're like, that took a long time, right? I mean, he put a lot of effort. Whoever did this put a lot of effort into it. But there is no way in hell that statue looks like Dwayne Wade. If you didn't see the jersey and I just showed you the face, go ahead, do it right now as you're looking at the picture. Cover up the jersey, look at the face, and show it to somebody that knows sports. There's no chance in hell that they would think that that's Dwayne Wade. Problem is I don't think this is the worst one. Is it Dwayne Wade? No. I think it's this one. Do you remember this statue from years ago? Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the best soccer players that we've ever seen, currently playing in Saudi Arabia, longtime goal scorer for Juventus and Real Madrid and Manchester United. Look at that statue. Horrendous. So you see that one and you see that one. Which one is worse? Dwayne Wade or Cristiano? I think it's Cristiano because his eyes are so close to his nose. But I see that, but then I go back to Dwayne and I go, that's not even close to him. Like his mouth's not even the same shape. The creases on his face, like they're not there in real life. Oh my God. It is wild. When you watch this video, leave the comments below. Let me know which statue is worse, Dwayne Wade or Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm leaning towards CR7, but man, you're probably not wrong if you think it's D Wade. All right, we're going to finish the show tonight. I want to talk about a lack of focus and maturity when it comes to football players on the gridiron. And we're constantly seeing this. And it's just mind blowing. Once again, that a sport that takes so much like mental stability and focus and making sure that you're on the same page with your teammates and you got to be so damn tough and everybody's got to work in concert. Like no stone can be unturned. You have to be dialed in and locked in. And you still see these plays that are just mind numbing. You saw it again today in the Buccaneers game against the Falcons, where Kyle Pitts goes in for the touchdown and Antoine Winfield Jr., in that never say die, never give up attitude, hawks him down and right before the goal line knocks the ball away. Now, the replay could not confirm that it was a fumble before the ball broke the plane. So it was a call in the field of a touchdown. They kept it. But just kind of looking at it from some of the angles, and if you want to see a really good video, Sean Barry from Fox 13, he was probably as close as anybody was to seeing whether he crossed the line or not. So go check him out on Twitter/X, Sean Barry. That's Barie. First off, I think it's asinine that the National Football League doesn't have goal line technology. Why there isn't a chip in the ball? Why there isn't a camera that shows exactly what you're seeing right down the line in every single one of these games? The NFL is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and we still can't figure that out. I can see the issue in baseball sometimes when you're talking about home runs because every stadium is different. No ballpark is exactly the same, but every single NBA basketball court, every single NHL hockey rink, every single NFL football field are exactly the same. The dimensions are exactly the same. Why the hell don't we have the technology to tell whether or not Kyle Pitts was in the end zone or not? I feel like the NFL does this on purpose because controversy just continues the conversation. People are going to be talking about this all day. They have been talking about it all day. They'll talk about it tomorrow on every single show, every water cooler, every workspace. They're going to talk about how the Buccaneers got screwed because Antoine Winfield Jr. made another miraculous play, just like he did last year against Desmond Ritter, knocking that ball away before he entered into the end zone. But I go back to, what are you doing, Kyle Pitts? Why is it so difficult for these guys to just hold on to the football until they get past the goal line? Hell, Rashad White almost did it on the touchdown before for the Buccaneers. I just mentioned we saw it from Desmond Ritter last year. We saw a UCF player do it. I think it was last week or a couple of weeks ago. Where is the focus? And this thing has happened multiple times now. Like, hold on to the football. Are you that dense where you don't know where you are on the football field? Hold on to that damn thing for dear life until you get into the end zone. You can cost your team a win. And you want to talk about a lack of focus and a lack of maturity in somebody that cost their team a win. Look no further than the play of Tyreek Stevenson today. That Hail Mary was fantastic to watch. And it was the only game on nationally in the 4 o'clock slate. And I thought it was a well played football game. You look at the teams that drafted number 1 and number 2 in the 2024 NFL draft, they have to be happy with the guys that they have under center with Caleb Williams in Chicago and Jaden Daniels in Washington. But the Commanders coming up with the win on a Hail Mary, just an absolute bomb from Daniels. He did such a great job of moving around and giving his guys a chance to get down the field, and the ball gets tipped by Tyreek Stevenson and caught by Noah Brown. And I don't know what it is about Noah Brown, but we saw it when he was a member of the Houston Texans. That guy just has a knack for making the big play. He's always going to be like a second or third receiver, but man, when a big play needs to happen, Noah Brown is around there somewhere. But if you look at this video of the play of Tyreek Stevenson in the corner of the end zone, almost the opposite corner of the end zone, talking smack to the fans there in the nation's capital, as the play is going on, it wasn't like before the ball was snapped. It was as the ball was being snapped. He's over there. He's joshing. And I know he already just put something on social media. He's got to be better. Screw your apologies. I freaking hate apologies. I think they're lame. I think they're corny as hell. Uh, just don't do it. Like, why? Why the hell are we looking at an NFL player? Why is he not focused on the last play of the game? Focus. Why is this so difficult? You're getting paid to play a game. You're getting paid handsomely, millions of dollars. Why can't you lock in for 60 minutes? You're not even playing the whole game. Defense, offense, there's special teams. Like, bro, lock in for half a game. Everybody is so worried about dancing after a sack or talking shit to the crowd or doing these handshakes, or it's just so crazy to me. It's mind numbing to see these athletes just completely lose their marbles. I don't get it. I, I just it makes me laugh, and I say it makes me laugh because if I don't laugh, it would make you want to cry. Because now Tyreek Stevenson's got to apologize to the fans. Like, who cares about your apology? The game is not over until it's over. And we're going back to the conversation we had a couple weeks ago about Chris Godwin getting heated or Chris Godwin getting injured. Okay, if you look back at that game, the Washington Commanders, I bet you they didn't have a high percentage of winning that game. I bet you it was over 90%. And I know it was a different situation because it's one score, two scores, but that's how the NFL is, man. You see things every single week that you've never seen before. And unfortunately for Tyreek Stevenson, this is something that's going to live with him for the rest of his career. These lapses in judgment doesn't mean he's a bad guy, right? I'm not saying that you should tar and feather the guy and throw him out in the square and throw tomatoes at him. No, he's probably a good dude. But you gotta focus, man. The game is not over until it's over. And that is going to I say it's going to be a cautionary tale for people to focus. But let's go back to the first thing I was talking about in this topic. People dropping the football or getting the ball knocked away before the end zone. It's happening multiple times. So are people really going to learn? I don't know. I hope so. I wish they would. It doesn't look like it though. We say the NFL stands for not for long and the no fun league, but I think at times like guys just need to play football. I could give two craps about the pomp and circumstance and all the other stuff. And, dancing after a touchdown, I think that's cool. I got no issues with that. I got no issues with guys being fired up. I got no issues with guys, you know, talking a little smack. The jar, the war of words. I like when guys get a little ornery. I don't want guys being friends out there. Everybody's too friendly, patting the backs. I don't like that kind of stuff. Give me competitors. Give me guys that are going to be locked in the entire time. Instead, we got guys dancing around and doing all this stuff and not even paying attention to what's going on. And it's costing their team football games because you know who the guy was that tipped the football from the Chicago Bears before it went into the hands of Noah Brown? Tyreek Stevenson. If there wasn't a better example of karma biting you in the ass, I don't think we've ever seen one. That was number one. All right, make sure you follow me again on all social media platforms: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. I appreciate all the love and everybody contributing today. Like and subscribe on YouTube. Going to be live pretty much every night. Tomorrow's going to be wild. Tomorrow, Amalie Arena, we are broadcasting live. Jay and Zach from noon to 3. I'll be at Morning Skate. Steven Stamkos returns to Amalie Arena for the first time since moving to the Nashville Predators in the offseason. It's going to be one of the most memorable days in Tampa Bay sports history, and we will be there for you from noon till 5, Jay and Zach till 3, the drive with T-Crash from 3 till 5. I'll be there all day long. This is why you want to follow me on social media, because I'll have a bunch of videos firsthand from just probably one of the craziest days in Lightning history. All right, everybody go get some sleep, hug your loved ones, and we'll see you next time right here on Recher Reacts. Peace out, y'all.